Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about a list of items that have really helped me postpartum to kind of heal and get back roughly to a normal state, as well as items that I've been using to take care of Callum. So first off, I'm going to be going over items that have really helped me out. And first, I'm going to be kind of talking about things that help me heal postpartum right after delivery. So these are some items that they actually provided for me in the hospital, but I bought, what I'm showing you today, I bought for myself because I was unsure what was provided. So I would highly suggest talking to your OB or your doctor, whoever's going to be delivering your baby, talking to them and kind of asking them, you know, what will be provided at the hospital for me, you know, postpartum, what will be provided for baby. I really went into this not knowing, and after delivery, the hospital was so accommodating. They were able to give me pads, they were able to give me DermaPlast for spraying down there, they were able to give me a plastic bottle. For Callum, they provided his wipes, his diapers, his blankets, everything like that. So really, there was nothing I needed to bring for Callum except his going home outfit and his car seat. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the items that I used post-delivery. So first off, like I said, these are things that the hospital provided for me, and I ended up buying some myself before going into labor. So these are like those big giant pads that honestly, when I saw them at the hospital, I thought they were pee pads for dogs, but they are not. They probably could be used as pee pads for dogs, but I'm not going to try it. These are those really big pads because after probably roughly on average 3 to 4 days, you're going to bleed super heavy, and regular menstrual pads are not going to cut it. So you're going to be using these. After my delivery, I had to change this probably every 2 hours, maybe, whenever I went to the bathroom. But you would take this and line it with regular menstrual pads. Like I said, those were provided by the hospital. But this really helps keep your bleeding in check, so make sure you're not going to bleed everywhere. It really helps control everything. It does really help. The nurses kind of showed me how to spray the pads with DermaPlast. It kind of helps it feel a little bit more better when you're sore and swollen down there. But these, I wouldn't suggest buying a whole pack of these because now I have a big huge pack that I'm not going to be using until, you know, my next pregnancy, which is not for another few years. Here's hoping. See if you can get a little extra from the hospital to kind of last you a few days. Like I said, I bought this whole pack. There's 18 in a pack, and I'm certainly not using them right now. They're just going to be sitting in my bathroom or in storage until the next baby. So regular menstrual pads, this, after you use the larger pads, you're pretty much going to bleed like a normal period for about 2 weeks. So this is where these come in handy. I usually wear pads. I'm not a fan of tampons, so I had a lot of these handy. But this is where you're going to need like a big huge pack of these to kind of get you through the 2 weeks kind of after delivery. So DermaPlast is something that I saw on a lot of postpartum lists for a lot of women. So I ended up buying this at Walmart. I want to say it was around $4, $4 to $5. It was not expensive. Of course, you can always use this. This isn't just for postpartum. You can keep this in your first aid kit and use it whenever, you know, you have an issue. It says this is for burning and itching, and it's safe for kids 2 and older. This is something else that was provided for me by the hospital. I ended up using a majority of the can that they provided for me at the hospital. I ended up taking it home. The hospital did tell me to pretty much take everything home because if not, they just end up throwing it away for, you know, health reasons. So this is pretty much half a can that I still have from where I bought it at Walmart. I'm going to be keeping it in my first aid kit. And really, after postpartum, when you go to the bathroom, it's sore, it's swollen. This really helps cool kind of down there to make you feel more comfortable sitting around. And also no touch, so you can just spray it on. You don't have to worry about touching down there. So this is really helpful. Also, like I mentioned, I sprayed this on my pads a lot, as the nurses showed me, to kind of help. I would spray down there and then spray it on the pads, so it would kind of last a little bit longer with the cooling sensation. So it really did help a little bit. So this is something that I ended up buying, and it's pretty much like an all-natural spray by the Earth Mama Angel Baby brand, and it has like cucumber. It has cucumber, peppermint extract, I believe, witch hazel, yeah, cucumber, lavender, and peppermint. So it's really cooling, it's really refreshing. There's not any medicinal properties that I'm aware of. It's just really cooling for down there. I only used this once or twice. If you had a lot of issues with your delivery and it's safe for you to use it and you have a long healing process, I would recommend buying this because it did feel really comforting down there, but I ended up not using it a lot. I'm sure it could have other uses since it has kind of like that cooling property to it, so you may even be able to use it for sunburn. I would assume, since it does have the cucumber as well as witch hazel and peppermint to it, so it would have like a cooling effect. But like I said, I bought this, I want to say it was under $10. I bought it on Amazon. Had really good reviews on Amazon, but like I said, I didn't use it a lot. So this was something that was actually given to me by the hospital. I didn't buy this myself, and I actually have quite a few of them left. But it's cooling and soothing witch hazel pads for hemorrhoids and vaginal care. And I was lucky enough that I did not get hemorrhoids during pregnancy as well as during delivery. I know a lot of women suffer from that, especially with the pressure of pushing the baby out. But I did not get hemorrhoids. I was lucky enough for that. The witch hazel was really just to kind of help cleanse the area down there, as well as kind of had like a cooling sensation. The nurses also showed me, they're really thin circular disc pads, and the nurses showed me that I could line my pads when I put a new pad in my underwear. I could line the pad with this and it would kind of stick and help that cooling sensation last a little bit longer, along with the DermaPants spray. So these were really handy in the hospital postpartum, as well as to kind of help me feel a little bit more clean down there when I had stitches. So like I said, this was provided by the hospital. I think the similar item that you could get is like the Tux cooling pads. I think these are the same thing. I did not, like I said, I did not buy these. They were provided by the hospital. And lastly, for my postpartum healing period, this was provided by the hospital, but I ended up buying another one, which I guess kind of came in handy because I was able to have one in the downstairs bathroom and then this one upstairs in my bathroom. But this is just when you go to use the bathroom, you can't really wipe for the maybe first to 2 weeks, however long you're comfortable. But really, this is just to kind of cleanse yourself after you use the bathroom. I kind of stopped using this around the 2nd to 3rd week because I was sore for a really long time. But like I said, this is just to kind of help cleanse the area down there. I also kind of moved on from using it on myself to actually using it on Callum for giving him baths. So I really like filling this with warm water during his bath time, and whenever he's getting a bath, I just pop the top on it, and it kind of allows you to control where the water goes when you're washing his hair. So I've actually used it washing his hair, kind of rinsing off his little butt whenever he dirties a diaper up. So this has actually come in really handy. Definitely postpartum after I'm done healing. I've been able to use it with Callum during his bath time. So next, these are things that I've been using kind of postpartum, not so much for healing, more so I guess kind of pampering my body, trying to get it back. I know it won't be back to where it was, but trying to get it back to a good status with me. So I've been using the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Body Scrub, and this is firming and toning. I haven't really noticed a lot of firming and toning with it, but for me it's just kind of nice to put this on my stomach and kind of scrub that area, speed up the healing for the stretch marks, as well as try to use the toning properties for my stomach. Of course, it has coconut oil, vitamin E oil. It's like a sugar scrub, so it's really good to kind of scrub the stomach area. I feel like it's a little bit of a pampering going on, but I'm really loving this. This is my 2nd container of this. I actually started using it when I was around 37, 38 weeks, so I was trying to use it as much as I can to kind of start using it on that skin around the stomach area. And then another Shea Moisture item that I was using, or I've started using, is the Mommy Stretch Mark Intensive Repair Oil. And this is just a spray bottle with some oil, shea butter, passiflora oil. And really this is supposed to improve the elasticity of your skin. I got a few stretch marks during my pregnancy, and really I've just been putting it just on my stomach to kind of help with the appearance of the stretch marks. I've noticed they faded quite a bit. I'm not sure if that's just my stomach going down from pregnancy or if it's just been using this, but I feel like this has helped a lot with the skin texture as well as the appearance of the stretch marks. And something else that I've been using for my stomach as well as kind of all over is Nivea Skin Firming Hydration Body Lotion. Again, it's something that I haven't been using long enough to really notice the skin firming properties of it, but it's just nice to have something that's supposed to have that in it that kind of helps me kind of rehydrate my skin. I usually try to put this on, you know, my stomach, my legs, anywhere kind of where I have some stretch marks at. I've been putting this on at night and usually after a shower along with the stretch mark oil, and just been putting this on and trying to improve the appearance and the texture of my skin. So onto a list of items that have really helped us take care of Callum. One thing is called a pack and play, so that kind of is like the little baby holder thing. It has the little mat on the bottom that they can take their naps in. The one that we got actually has a bassinet on top as well as a changing table. So for about the first month, we had this delusion, or for the first few days, we had this delusion that Callum would sleep in his crib, but that did not happen. So for the most part, for the first week or two, my husband and myself kind of took turns sleeping in the rocking chair with Callum. He did not like sleeping in his crib. He likes sleeping on us, which he still kind of does to this day. But for the first week or so, we slept in his room with him, taking turns back and forth. Until my mom actually bought us the pack and play. And with the pack and play, for the remaining like 3 weeks of his first month, we actually would take it downstairs and use it downstairs and then move it up to our bedroom. It was super easy to disassemble, super easy to like move up the stairs. It wasn't that heavy. We could easily move it back and forth. And really this allowed us to have a changing table and a little bassinet in our room without having like a dedicated fixture to it. So it's something that we could use now, and then we could always use, you know, if we go on vacation, if we need to go out somewhere and we don't have a crib ready. It's definitely something that was useful in the beginning, and it will definitely be useful in the long run. So something else that I guess I could say both helped take care of me as well as Callum, and that's a nipple shield. When Callum first came out, he had a tongue tie, and that had to be snipped in the hospital to kind of help him with breastfeeding. It didn't still help as much, and I think it's more so the issue lies within how far my nipple comes out. So we had a tough time breastfeeding at first, and with the lactation consultant, she figured out the issue, gave me a nipple shield, and he was able to latch right away and actually stay latched on. So with the nipple shield, we were able to breastfeed without him breaking off constantly. I would say if that's an issue that you have, to go out, you can go out and buy a nipple shield for around, I think it's under $10, you know, anywhere like Walmart, Bye Bye Baby, Babies R Us, anywhere like that. But you can always try to find a lactation consultant and see what the issue is. Like I said, it was because my nipple didn't come out far enough for him to properly latch on. I know a nipple shield is usually used with those that have inverted nipples as well. But like I said, the nipple shield for us worked wonders, and I actually ended up getting two. One was provided by the lactation consultant, and another I went out and bought myself. But with those, I keep one upstairs and then one downstairs, so that way wherever I'm at, I don't have to run back and forth with it trying to breastfeed him. I can just easily keep it on each floor, so that way it's easily accessible to me. So another thing that has really kind of helped Callum with his sleeping actually is white noise. We were able to find like a free app on the App Store with our Android phones that plays white noise when he was in our room. But we don't have a white noise machine, so I actually ended up taking my iHome and putting it in his room and cutting it on to a station with no frequency, so it's just complete white noise. So we've been doing that at night to kind of help him sleep, as well as drown out any type of noise that's caused by our dogs or our neighbors or just people driving by. So another thing that has really helped us with Callum is a swaddle sack. And in the hospital, they really encourage you to swaddle the baby, and it was the only way to keep Callum pretty calm, was to swaddle him. The issue was he likes to flail around, and when he flails around, it's kind of hard to swaddle him in a blanket. We have definitely gotten a little better at it, but for the first 2 days in the hospital, it was really difficult to swaddle him with the blanket they provided. When we got home, however, and I had these swaddle sacks, it was so much easier to swaddle him and have him swaddled in less than 10 seconds flat, and even with him flailing around. So really the swaddle sack is kind of shaped like this. His feet go in the bottom down here, and there's Velcro, so you can kind of wrap the baby up and have the Velcro attached, so it's kind of like a little pod almost. I think it's called like a pod, but there's Velcro to kind of keep them swaddled nice and tight. This is actually his smaller size. Yes, this is actually his smaller size, so he's outgrown this. We've actually had to go up a size. These are really helpful, and now it's come to the point where he will actually get both of his arms out. So we have one that has armholes in it, where he, we can add pressure to his chest to make him feel swaddled, but he'll have his arms out, and then when the time comes that he can roll over to his side, he'll have his arms out for safety. Another item that we've had for Callum that's really helped is a mesh bumper. I know they've said, now bumpers were safe, now they're not, just for suffocation risk. The mesh bumper really helps, keeps his little toes in, because we do put him to sleep in the little swaddle sack. I believe the second or third night that we had him in his crib for the first time, when we checked on him, his little feet in the swaddle sack were kind of poking out of one of the spaces through the railings. So we actually went out the next day and bought mesh bumpers for him so he wouldn't stick his feet out the railing from the side. So the mesh bumper really does come in handy if your baby likes to move around in the crib a lot. So really that's kind of it for the list. I found that within that first month of life, babies don't really need a lot, just as long as you can feed them and put them in a nice comfy place where they can sleep. They're perfectly happy. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe for more videos like this. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you would like to see in the future, and I'll see you on the next one.